I'm speaking only through the side that I know. I know a lot of people going to court now that's got restraining orders on them, and because they're drug life, and then they're trying to clean themselves up and all of that. What about them? What do you feel like if your husband had a thought at the time that maybe if he cleans himself up, if you had encouraged him, could you encourage him?
No, there's no way.
Oh, so you was at dead end.
Yeah. I had tried so many times going back.
Oh, okay.
And the last time, we lived in Wishram, Washington. And when he told me that he was thinking about drowning himself,
Wow.
is when I just lost it. He came in the bedroom at about 3 o'clock in the morning after he'd been drinking, and then he came back out in the living room, slammed the door like he was leaving, and I knew he expected me to get up to find out what was going on, and I did, and he was standing right there.
Wow.
So that's a form of manipulation by telling people you're going to kill yourself, and then it's just he wasn't really intending to do that. So that's what a lot of men do when women ask for a divorce, or it can go the other way. They try to say they're going to kill themselves as a means of manipulating behavior.
Wow. So I guess this program was really needed because none of this, you never hear Russ Limbaugh, all the complaining he do, you don't hear all of these people that complain talking about this type of thing that's personal, that's affecting people like you and like me and like the other guests that's getting ready to come on. Oh, wow. So I got just one more question before we bring the next. And you can sit out here because I think that getting all you guys together, and then we're going to have a little talk afterwards with everybody out here. But and if you have any question when Brandy come out, feel free. And if you can relate with it, we would love that because I'm on the outside, but I'm going to make sure the men's voice be heard at this table. Okay, so now we're going to bring Brandy in and hook her up and get ready to talk about a different type of what?
A hardship. And I think it's good that you invited people on to speak from their personal experience. And it's good that they're willing to share such a private, emotional, stories.
Okay, so we're going to take a few minutes to sit Brandy up, and then we're going to be right back. And we just want to keep reminding you that we do have a website, and we are featuring the Watermelon Man on it, and we just are beginning to enjoy it, and we want to learn and we want to hear your opinions. We're going to have that up there and a way to contact us. Okay.
And it's more or less because the Oregon State Hospital is the safest place I've ever known. It is a very violent world to live in because people are beating each other up all the time, but it is safer than where I came from. So to me, it's the safest place I've ever been.
Very good. Kelly, I'm going to let you answer that because I'm shocked for words and how would...
Right. Wow.
So are you.
So yeah, that makes sense about the dissociating, because that's what she had to do to survive. But then the things that serve you for survival as you get older, they don't serve as well, those coping mechanisms, and they can get you into trouble sometimes. So do you feel like you learned more about PTSD and
yeah, I'm starting to deal with some of those issues now. Learning how to ground. That's what Bunny's for, is for grounding, which is when you start to disassociate, to ground yourself and not let yourself lose yourself completely.
not leave the situation.
Or to mentally black out.
Right.
To ground yourself and bring yourself back to the present and realize that what may be going on in your head may be just a flashback of the past, may not be what's actually going on, and that's usually what happens to me when I disassociate. Nowadays it's from a flashback, not from a thing happening in the present. So I have to use like my bunny or a piece of gum, chocolate, something that'll bring me back to the present.
To your body.
Yeah, I gotta ground my body before I can ground my mind.
Right.
So my body seems to be the first thing to go. I'll start feeling what happened in the flashback, and then my body will go because I don't want to feel it. Right. Then my mind will start catching up with it.
Well, Kelly, now explain that, what she just said. Now wait, you mean if I get angry, my body goes before my mind?
Well, if you've been experienced extreme abuse from a young age, like she has, that's when the dissociating happens, because it helps the person leave their body. So while the abuse is going on, and it's a way of surviving it.
Oh,
But then it'll happen later in life, like she said, when something triggers a memory or something scary starting to happen, you kind of check out of your body, and then your mind. So it's a blackout. So she learns when that starts to happen, she's trying to tell herself, okay, this is a memory of what happened, or this is not life-threatening anymore. And then she says, okay, I'm in this room and I have my bunny and I'm chewing my gum to help keep herself with her and not black out. So what triggered the rage? Was that person doing something, or were they reminding you of somebody in the past, or your mom?
Well, the person that triggered the rage actually scolded me for something. Right. And actually she was my age and made me believe that she was my best friend, and then turned around and consequenced me for something, which she worked at the group home, which my therapist and I now know that it was a breach of ethics or whatever. She shouldn't have ever built a friendship with me or a therapy. It should have been a house client, professional relationship where it was house client, not best friends. And then all of a sudden, one day I do something that upsets her and she has to consequence me for it.
Right, and then you take it more personally if it's your friend versus a professional.
Yeah.
So, right.
Wow. I don't know. I'm stuck for words. I mean, I know you work with this. Do you see a lot of this in the Portland area?
Well, it's not an area thing. It's a trauma incidence of extreme childhood abuse, which again happens in all cultures, all socioeconomic classes, races, countries. I mean, it probably happens more where there's more poverty and a culture that accepts violence. So it's good that she's speaking about it, because then there's more awareness. I think there is more awareness in general in our schools. They try to teach kids about, your body's yours and safety, and to reach out to adults, safe adults. But when the person that's abusing you is your mother, your primary care person, who is supposed to be the person that you can trust, and then they're the ones that aren't protecting you. Not only are they not protecting you, but they're abusing you.
Well, I'm gonna stop this right here, and I'm going to introduce the next guest, and then I'm gonna let Kelly and these four ladies talk together, and I'm gonna sit out and listen. But I will be back to end the show. But I think that we all need to take a hold of this and hear these words, because our society has got to stop this. So now I'm going to introduce Lynn, and I won't be back up here until the end of the show. But Kelly will be able to monitor, and they will be able to talk about the subjects together after Lynn. I want you guys just to continually having different conversations with each other, because I hear two different conversations.
Hi, my name is Lynn Sisto, and how I met Larry Harrell was I have a job working for digital TV and wireless services, and I called him from a referral to work to see if he was interested in my services. And then we got to talking. And really, even in the real world, work world, you can feel the presence of the importance of how mental abilities are around you and how things are taken care of with your family and with the public in support in all these areas. And so when we started talking and he started talking about those things, my interest started perking up, because that is within me. This is what I really have a passion to do, is to be able to share and help people with disabilities. From coming from a world of neglect and growing up issues with abuse, and also with family members of mental illness, I've definitely experienced and discovered the importance. I have met very good people through the years I've been growing up and my adulthood, and realized and come to the conclusion how important it is to be a good example of support to mental illness and also abuse in a family relationship. So I'm going to turn this over to Kelly and ask her a few questions and see what her opinions are with these questions.